Guys, you are going to be making a cardboard sculpture. That's why I've been asking you to mess around with the cardboard a little bit. And I'm going to challenge you to make an animal sculpture, just as a really kind of interesting form to study. So your assignment's going to be to make an animal sculpture that stands up out of cardboard. So I recommend that you pick an animal with 4 legs, but we'll talk about you don't have to do that. But 4 legs will just make it easier for it to stand up. So the first thing you want to do is, get some photo sources, right? So you want to figure out what image you're gonna get. Okay, so here someone was picking this dog, right? And I think this was their personal dog, and so they had lots of photographs of the dog, and they started to do some sketches. You're going to start with getting a profile view, a side view of the full body, but you're also going to want to have front views. You're going to want to have back views. If you can get something from above, it's going to give you more information as you kind of construct the form out of charcoal. So this here, I just want to point out, this is not a fully profile view, like a total side view. You can see it's a little 3/4. We see the other far legs, right? But I like this drawing here. I just want to point out how they're looking at the negative space shape here to maybe kind of notice how much distance there is between forms, right? And how much space there is underneath here. So that's kind of helpful. But you're going to need some good images. So I'm just, right here, there's a real quick little search. Here's, maybe I want to do a cat, right? If you have your own cat or whatever animal you're picking, you can photograph them yourself. That's the best. But if you do a search here, here's just like some profile views where here's the profile, pretty good one of the body and the legs, and even the legs kind of walking in motion. But this head is not, profile. It's turned towards us. But here's this nice silhouette. You're literally going to be looking for the shapes, right? So a silhouette actually is really kind of cool because it just flattens the whole thing and lets us see the shape really clearly. But you will want to know where the shapes are of the individual like kind of legs and up into things. Cool. You'll also want to have you want to have some frontal views of the head and the face. I'm just scrolling through a bunch of things here. Above view, so here's like you can see the top of the head, like looking down on the head from this photograph. Obviously the rest of the body isn't. So, sometimes you can get different angles, okay? And you'll definitely want some front views, some side views to start. And, I want to say here, I mentioned, sorry, I'm rambling a little bit. I mentioned, 4-legged animals is going to help you make something that stands up, but like, maybe you want to do a peacock for like the symbolic reasons or really just the form of it or something. And it only has 2 legs, right? So it's going to be more challenging to make it stand up, but you can do something like that. You might even, for your design, even though this might be cool to have the feathers like that, you might design it so that the feathers come down and it might stabilize your sculpture. Cool. So if you pick something that doesn't have nice 4 stabilizing legs, you're going to have to figure out how to do it. And then you'll want to look for good profiles, right? So even if, this doesn't show the rest of it, you can get close-ups. Cool. And you'll have to decide what kind of profile you want to have. Is his neck all stretched out? Is it curved like this? I know that's chopped off a little bit there. Cool. And basically all you're doing, this is just to start. Find your animal. You want to get your drawings done, okay, where you're going to have the profile of the whole body, okay? And you can do it just on regular sketch paper, until you get the shape out there. And then once you start to gather your your cardboard that you're going to use, you can decide how big you're going to make it. Okay, so your profile of the whole form is going to kind of set the scale. Okay, and I don't mind if you go too small. This project gets hard, and if you go too big, you just have to deal with it being a big sculpture. So you need a profile shape. You're going to have the whole thing with legs and everything. And we will end up getting separate shapes for the legs individually. We're getting separate shapes from what the face looks like from the front. And we'll break it down. So you'll want to at least get the profile of the body, the legs, the head, if the neck is significant, if there's a tail, okay, and put it all together. So you want to start with that and have your profile shape, but also go ahead and get as many sketches for the front, from the side, from the back. Do as many sketches as you can, and maybe save all the images that you want to use as references so you'll have them to look back at them while we're sketching. Okay, so that's just step 1. That's what you're going to do. Cool, and then we'll go from there. Cool.